Hi, and welcome to the Dingers Podcast, episode 33, brought to you by Manscaped. How are you guys tonight?
Well, I'm still on this side of the dirt, so I can't complain. How are you guys?
Doing well. Surviving.
All right. Well, this week for our Manscaped ad, we're going to toss it over to our buddy Kevin. So, moms, dads, you might want to tell your kids to go to bed and let them listen tomorrow after you've pre-screened. So, Kevin, take it away.
Do you have hair? Do you have hair down there? Do you have hair down there that causes others to stare up into the air? If so, then you need the Lawnmower 3.0 from Manscaped to turn those unsightly ganglies into a well-manicured pitching mound. The Lawnmower 3.0 comes with an LED light and is waterproof to help with those rainy day calls from the bullpen. And for the real dinger, you should try the Perfect Package 3.0 kit, which includes the lawnmower, crop preserver, and anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, and a pair of high-performance Manscaped boxer briefs, and a whole lot more. Check out all the goodies at manscaped.com, and don't forget to use the promo code DINGERS to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code DINGERS at checkout.
Well, yep, use code DINGERS. So, how are you guys? Besides, we are 1 week away from opening day. How you guys feel about that?
So ready.
Not really 1 week. We are in the week
days.
of opening day. So 4 days. Thursday.
Like 4 days.
We are within the week.
This
So
is not
Thursday,
an
1
April
o'clock.
Fool's COVID joke. Season's going to start Thursday this year.
Yep. I downloaded the radio.net app on my phone and was listening to the game today. If you folks are listening on AM 670 AM and you want a much clearer sound, the app works really well.
Or for those of you that cannot get the Marquee Sports Network and cannot watch them, and you want to listen to the game, radio.com app for your phone. I was actually listening to it today while I was outside playing catch with my son, had it playing. So, yeah, definitely will be doing that when I can't necessarily watch the games on TV. But, yeah, we have a lot to discuss before. This is our prediction episode. We will be doing a lot of predictions of how we think the season will play out, like how many home runs, who will have the most home runs, who will have the most RBIs, who will be Jeff's punching bag this year like Descalso was the last 2 years. You name it. We'll be giving our predictions on the season. But we have some news that we need to kind of talk about that's kind of happened with the Cubs the last week or so. And it's all has to do with who's making the roster, who isn't making the roster. So we'll start with that. The Nico Hoerner being sent down thing was rough for me. And if you've listened to our podcast, you've heard me say that Nico Hoerner is my second baseman. The way he struggled last year, I will admit he got called up early. He got put into a situation in 2019 that probably nobody else would have got put into. He got lucky to even be a Major League Baseball player at that point. Last year, started the season off pretty decent, but struggled. But did the things he needed to do in the offseason. He got jacked. He grew his locks out, became He-Man, and did everything you could possibly do in spring training to earn himself a starting spot, and he gets sent down. So I don't know what the front office, this is telling the rest of the people, the rest of the prospects that are trying to earn their way to earn a starting spot. It's like, hey, work really hard and you still won't make the opening day roster. I don't get it. The dude was killing it this spring. And what makes it even more difficult is that then you keep on the roster Matt Duffy.
Who the hell is that?
If you've watched spring training, you know that he has done absolutely nothing at the plate. He can fill in at second base, but they have Bodie and they have Sogard there. He can fill in at first base, but you have an all-star first baseman, which we'll get into the Rizzo thing here in a little bit. But it makes me very upset with the way how Jed has handled some things to start off his tenure as being the GM of this team. And it's just BS. You can't. I don't know. Like Nico did the things he needed to do.
Well, he'll be with Chicago, I imagine, on April 11th or 12th.
Yeah, when his service time is up.
Yeah.
Because yes, they do get another year of service time if he sits out. I think it's 32 games that he has to not play
36.
With the Cubs.
Okay, so it'll be like May 1st. Somewhere in there.
The business of baseball just sucks, man. Like I get so sick of it, and I know I get it. Like I hear people say that the Cubs are just taking advantage of the rule that's in place, and they have every right to do so right now. You can't blame them, but at the same time, it's BS and it sucks.
I agree. Alan commented on that too, saying he will be back. He's getting the Chris Bryant treatment.
Oh yeah.
And on the bright side for us, being that we live in Ames, is that's a short little trip down to Des Moines, so we get to watch Nico whenever we want. Guess a month later.
Yeah,
because
make sure to hit the early May games.
The May games, when hopefully he'll be there for the first week that we can go and watch him some games play at Iowa. But like Nico did enough to never ever play a game in the state of Iowa. And I'm okay with that. But now we're going to be forced to watch him. So I don't know. I like Bodie. So that's the thing too. I do like Bodie. And
yep. That's what, for me, as much as I hate seeing Nico sent down, I do like Bodie getting a chance at second base. In 2019, it was Bodie's second season in the bigs, and he batted .257 and had 11 home runs. This year, he's only projected around the .230 range, but hoping to see a step forward. And I think for him, he's getting a lot of confidence boosters from Rossy right now. Like, you're the everyday second baseman. It's your job. Kind of taking that kind of bug off of his back a little bit of Nico being there. Granted, I think that'll always be there because we know Nico's the future. But I hope that fills him with some confidence, gets him some knocks. I don't know, Jeff, what do you think?
I think it's a crock of shit that he's got to start playing at AAA versus being in Chicago. I mean, he's busted his ass all offseason and busted his hump in spring training. And he's being replaced by an assistant librarian.
We found him.
And an amateur LARPer.
Yeah, Sogard, man. Like, if there's ever a nerd-looking dude like that, I mean, I'll give this. I like as a baseball player, he is pretty decent. He does all the small things. Like he's
a poor man's Chris Sabo is what he is.
He is a poor man's Chris Sabo. Chris Sabo was a pretty good ball player for the Reds back in the day.
He had a very odd plate approach, getting ready to take a pitch. I don't know how many times the bat had to pass in front of his face.
Yep.
He had to wave it at the pitcher. And he had the prescription goggle glasses that he wore. Even though he didn't
we should buy some of those prescription goggles and send the Cubs and see if Sogard will wear them. That'd be
that'd be good.
But like what you were saying with Bodie, like we've talked about this before too in episodes that the Bodie had one of the highest velocity rate off his bat last year.
yeah.
Like, he hit the ball hard a lot last year, and he was clutch. He had the most RBIs on the team last year. At the same time, like, I like the Bodie, and I do agree with Ross of saying he deserves the spot. It's his time. But Nico earned that spot, I think. Just me.
I don't really know if I agree with that it's Bodie's time. I mean, I just see him as a utility bench player is how I see him.
Well, what I think is that they're going to play him here for the first month, see what they got, and when Bryant leaves next year, they're going to slide him over to third and then have Horner be this everyday second baseman.
Probably.
And Bodie will be the third baseman.
I think that's the infield of the future.
Yep.
If we can keep Rizzo.
Well, let's get into that.
Or Baez, if we can keep
So,
two of them.
News broke, and you saw Cubs Twitter basically have a meltdown today of the news that Rizzo's kind of done with the extension talk with the Cubs. And as far as like how this has all went down. So apparently earlier in spring training, Cubs offered Rizzo what was it? A $60 million for 5 years or for 4 years. $60 million for 4 years. And then they came back this week and did a 5-year for $70 million. Which, if you look at the contract, which is as a comp contract, would be Goldschmidt, and his is like, I think it's 4 years, 130 maybe it's 530, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and he's a guy that hasn't even he played on one playoff team?
Yeah, I mean, he always has numbers. If you just look at the numbers, but like,
numbers
here's
are great, but I mean, the teams he played on haven't done shit.
But the thing is, like, so Rizzo signed a deal back in 2019 or 2013. It was a 7-year, $41 million deal, and he didn't start getting paid over $10 million until this last year. Or in 2019, he started getting paid over $10 million a year.
Yeah,
he is an all-star, everyday captain of our team, and he's not getting paid. Pay the dude.
I bet he wishes
you have nobody in your organization that can play first. Pay the dude.
I bet he wishes he would have kept that final out ball instead of giving it to Mr. Ricketts about now.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a class act thing to do. I mean, he put it in his pocket, and the next day he gave it to the owner. There's been other final out, but like in 2004 when Boston broke their 86-year streak, that final out, God, who was their closer then? Kind of crazy dude. He went on to play for the Phillies for a while, or the Nationals. Anyway, his bulldog ate the ball.
Well, what I could see is Rizzo, after he signs a contract with like the Marlins in the offseason, that he sends Ricketts a picture of the actual game ball, and that he gave Ricketts a fake.
Fake him.
Probably.
I don't know. Here's how we can get back, though, at Ricketts. I've come up with it. We boycott the beginning of the season and only fill up Wrigley at 25% to start the season.
I'm down.
Since that's the rule.
That's the plan. I love it. Well, I can't watch him anyway, so.
The other news is our 4th and 5th starter spot has been given to Alzolay and Trevor Williams. We've talked a lot about Alzolay. I like Trevor Williams. I think he has some good stuff, and he's done the things that the Cubs have told him to do, and it's worked as far as pitching. But that does mean Millsy goes to the pen.
I really hope that they had a good conversation with him when they were planning this out, because he had some nice games last year as a starter.
They threw a no-hitter.
Imagine throwing a no-hitter, and the next year the team's like, so here's what we need. Like, what else can he do?
3 no-hitters out of me? Fuck.
Yeah.
I know I was rough on him last year. Like, I thought he was going to be one of our worst pitchers on the team, but no, that turned out to be Chatwood and Craig Kimbrell for a while. But I don't get how you you know what you're gonna get out of fucking Alec Mills. What are we gonna get out of Owsley? I mean, can he keep it together? Can he keep it together for 4 or 5 innings?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it'll be, can he hold it together for the length of our season?
Right.
It's a long season, and like he has stuff that fits into our mix of pitchers really, really well because he is different than all the other ones that do not have overpowering stuff, and he does a little bit. He has, and so he mixes in well. Where Mills is just another guy that can't break glass and throw strikes. So I think they went with, and they like what they had with Owsley. He's a hard worker. He did earn it. He worked his butt off, and so you have to love his passion on the mound. So I mean, I can't complain with that.
He doesn't do squats to full depth, though.
He doesn't.
There is that. I wonder if they're not planning. If it wasn't part of the conversation, they're not planning to piggyback Owsley and Mills. Kind of an 8-inning game with 2 pitchers, like kind of know when you're going that far and see where you're at when you go to the 9th.
Yeah.
And to be honest, from what I've heard Mills speak, I could see the team, somebody, Ross going to him and the pitching coach going to him and just saying, "Hey, here's what we're thinking. Are you cool with that?" You know, and seeing how that goes.
All right, well, let's get into our preseason projections. Let's start off with who we think will be the home run leader on this team and how many home runs. So you can't just say home run leader. You have to tell us how many home runs you think he's going to get. So, Jeffrey, go first.
I picked Jock Peterson, and I think he's going to hit 32 home runs.
32, okay.
32. The home run number threw me for a loop. I had to go do some quick mathematicals. I also picked Jock Peterson. That's interesting. But I'm going to go with 36. I think he's going to hit 36.
All right. So if you're watching on our Facebook Live or anything, you can comment to what you guys think are going to be their numbers. So I am also going with Jock Peterson, and I also said 36 home runs. Huh. So in 2019 he had 25. In 2018, or 2019 he had 36.
Yep.
In 2018 he had 25. Last year in the shortened season he had 7. He already has 8 this spring, so if we could carry those over, I would take that. But I think 36 is going to be a pretty good number for Jock. And so, 36. All right, highest batting average on the team. And what do you think that?
So we have to know the batting average too.
You can throw out a number.
All right. I'm going to say Ian Happ, and I think he's going to hit 288.
Interesting. Just for the folks at home, we did not share out what we were projecting at all. So this is kind of interesting because I think it's going to be Ian Happ, and I think he's going to hit 303.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, so you think he's going to hit an extra ground ball a week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Another dying quail.
So I'm going with Nico Horner, my second baseman. He's going to come back. He's going to come back when he gets called up, and he's going to rake. And he's going to bat 290, and he's going to lead the team in batting average. Calling it. Put it down.
I like it.
All right, first home run of the season. And this one we're going to lead into. We're going to let you guys take part in this one. So we're going to do a post tomorrow. So look on our social medias for a post. You guys, if you post who you think will have the first home run of the season, you have an opportunity to win one of these Dingers t-shirts. So if you go to ShyCitySports.com, you can enter to win one of those shirts. I'll put it up there. Shy City Sports, you can enter to win. So if you guess the player, and then we need the inning or game, both of them, inning and game, and then what count, kind of as a tiebreaker to be able to win the shirt. So you're going to have to say who's the first player, what game, what inning, what count. And if you say like Ian Happ, You need to say if he's batting right-handed or left-handed as another tiebreaker. So if they're switching, say what they're going to be batting. So that's an opportunity for you guys to win a free Dingers podcast t-shirt. If you don't win one, you can go to ShyCitySports.com, and they're on the apparel page. Go to baseball, and they should be on there, the Dingers. And you can get it in like a darker blue or this heather blue style of t-shirt.
Is there a promo code currently?
There is a promo
right now?
code. If you use Shy City, you get 20% off on your t-shirts. So there's that. But first home run of the season, who do you have?
Jock Peterson.
Ooh,
interesting. I'm going Ian Happ, and I'm even calling it first game, first at bat.
Never happened.
I said that last week when we were talking to Dom. It's going to be Ian Happ, lead off, first at bat.
This isn't
just like 2019 in Miami, buddy.
Bingo.
And I called that one too. You remember, Kevin?
I do remember.
Right before the game, I was in your classroom. I said, Happ, he's going to lead off the game with a dinger. Called it. So there it is. Ian Happ leading off the season the right way.
I think it's going to be Jock Peterson in Game 3.
They're not going to hit a home run the first two games.
They're a very home run dependent team.
I don't know if I'm going to make it if they don't hit a home run. All right. First player to hit a ball onto Waveland or Sheffield. And now it is harder now in Wrigley to hit a ball to Waveland and Sheffield with the scoreboards and the bigger bleachers. But who do you think is going to hit the first one? Because there will be one. Who do you think is going to be? And what road? Is it going to be Sheffield or Waveland? Sheffield is right field. Waveland is left field.
There you
Jock
go. Thank
Peterson
you.
to Sheffield. I'm going Jock Peterson to Sheffield.
Jock Peterson. Jeff says Jock Peterson homer. He loves him.
Noticing a trend. I'm going to say Anthony Rizzo to Sheffield, and because he's pissed.
Never happened.
Ooh, it might be.
I think it's going to be an early game. He's going to be pissed. He's going to get one of those home runs where he's down on his knees, just driving the ball, pissed off.
Very first game, he might be the very first home run of the season. Pissed off Rizzo. Eat that, Tom Ricketts. All right. How many ejections do you think David Ross will have this season? Now, last year, they couldn't have very many ejections because they couldn't really argue anything.
Right.
But how many ejections do you think Rizzo will get?
3 plus or minus 1.
That's interesting. I'm saying 9.
Ooh, 9. That's
Fuck.
it's going to be a rough year, Jeff.
There's a lot of guys who are on their last straw with their contracts and stuff like that, and he's going to have to go out there and save face for them a little bit. I think it'll be 9.
I'm saying
Matt Duffy's going to start some shit.
Yeah.
Whoever the hell that guy is.
He's going to start stuff with the popcorn guy up in the aisles.
I'm going to say 6. I'm going to say he's going to do a couple just to get the team fired up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to have a couple where it's just he's going to be hot. And then it's going to be when there's going to be the struggle part of the season in like late July, dog days of summer, where you'll get one where you'll be like, you know what? It's hot out here. I'm ready to go into the clubhouse and watch the rest of this game and drink a beer.
Arrieta's getting squeezed on the strike zone, so he's going to go out there and just piss off the umpire, scream at him for a while.
Head to the clubhouse and watch Descalso fold the towels.
And there's our Descalso plug. Yep, every time. All right.
Episode.
Winners by a pitcher or wins by a pitcher.
Steve Traxel with 13.
Steve Traxel. Is this the 90s? Did we backtrack?
I'm going with Zach Davies on this one.
Ooh, interesting.
How many?
I think it's going to be. It'll probably be 13.
13.
I'm going Hendricks with 14.
Never.
And I think the win stat is dumb.
Never happened.
The win stat is dumb. I'm going with Zach Davies as well. I'm going to say 16, and Hendricks will end up with 13.
Ooh.
And I'm going to say, I don't know if we had this one on here, but lowest ERA, and it will be Davies as well, and it will be below 3. Calling it.
Nice.
So,
you like your new cub. Gotcha.
I like me some Zach Davies. He's been just dealing, and I like the way he knows how to pitch, man. He's like him and Hendricks. They're so fun to watch because they don't overpower. They just know how to pitch. All right, most RBIs on the team.
Wilson Contreras, 113.
113. The most he's ever had is like 76.
This is his year. Isn't he under contract too? He's got to prove some
It
shit.
went like 54, 76, and you're gonna say 100 and what?
113.
113.
What?
I like it. It's a bold statement. Just laying it on the line. He doesn't have to split games with Caratini, so there is that.
Yeah, we got nobody. PJ Higgins. Who?
I mean, I have a feeling Oscar Ryan's going to catch like 4 innings every game, and then they're going to throw Willie in there. All right, you had a half game off. Get your ass out there.
Right. I'm going Jock Peterson with 86.
I am also going with Willie. So I'm going with Wilson Contreras with a career year of 95, not 113, 95. I mean, even that I thought was a little generous. I was like, his most was 76, and I'm gonna throw out 95. That's a big bump, and you're even bigger there.
Swing for the fences there, Jeff. I love it.
I believe in our catcher. I think he's the next Johnny Bench.
All right.
He doesn't pay for the dick ballers.
Thank you, Dom.
Yep. Where are we at?
Saves.
Saves by Kimbrel.
6 plus or minus 6.
0 to 12. You just claimed 0 to 12.
I did.
I'm gonna go with 13.
Okay. I'm gonna go with what I put. I'm going with 15, and that may be high. I think he will get there, and then by close to the middle of the season, there's gonna be a stretch where he struggles, and Chafin's gonna come in and fill a big role and get some saves. Or I don't know who else we got. Workman might come in, or Wick might come back after being injured and get some saves. So I don't know if 15.
I think it's going to be closer by committee for a while this season.
I did throw this one in there late, and I don't know if we're there yet, but we're going to do it now. Who do you think will have more walks this season? Hendricks or Dylan Maples?
Dylan Maples.
Oh.
With 126.
Yeah, I also went with Dylan Maples. I don't have a number prepared, but I think it's going to be Dylan Maples.
I just threw that out.
The thing is, he's going to have more strikeouts than walks, but he's going to have a crap load of walks.
Yeah.
It's because he can't find the plate.
The dude is just...
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
That was
just
good.
Always a little bit outside.
So does he need glasses?
He might need glasses. I don't know. I don't know how he made the team. I like me some Dylan Maples. Don't get me wrong. I still think he needs to figure some stuff out, but he's out of options, and it's like
I think he needs to hold the baseball like an egg.
He is gonna be. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the closer's name.
Or maybe
in the 90 or like in the 2010. Oh my goodness, what's his name? Marmol.
Oh, Carlos Marmol.
Carlos Marmol. He's gonna be like where one is like, dude has some amazing stuff, but he's just gonna wear you thin and just work you over. It, like gets to the ninth, you're gonna be sweating because like, oh, Dylan Maples is in. Crap. Like we have a lead.
Better head for the clubhouse when he takes the mound.
Eric doesn't like your question, by the way. Super fan Eric.
Yeah, Dylan Maples is gonna. I love his stuff, but he's gonna make me go crazy. I think this year.
Hit by pitch.
All right, who's gonna have the most steals on the team?
Baez.
Okay, I had a question. Is Ian Miller still with the Cubs?
He is, but he didn't make the team. He's going to be a minor leaguer.
Because they
Right.
kept Matt Duffy, whoever the hell that is.
So I'm still gonna say Ian Miller, but I think Javi will have more. But I think Ian Miller will get a bunch because eventually he'll just get called up to fill in Matt Duffy's position on the bench, and then he'll
Because-
just get put in
Oh,
there
no.
for stealing.
He will
Matt
get called up in
Duffy's gonna go-
September, and because nobody else on the team can steal bases, it'll just fall to Ian Miller because he'll steal bases in September. And in
Did
1
you
month-
see it? Have you ever looked at his stats? Like he's had like a season where he had like 28 steals or something like that. It was nuts. Like
from
what?
September 1st to September 31st.
Right.
Stealing a
Yeah.
base a day. Has he ever won the nation a free taco? For stealing a base in the World
I do
Series?
like the bias thing because El Mago's going to do El Mago things,
It's gonna swim move.
and so he's going to steal some bases. How many Cubs players will have more than 10 home runs?
6.
Interesting. I went with 8. I had to write it out. I think 8.
I went with 8 as well. So Jock, Wilson, Bryant, Baez, Rizzo, Happ, Bodie, and Hayward. And I was going to put 9 because I thought Horner maybe, possibly in there. And
You think
possibly
Hayward's gonna hit 10?
Jake Marisnik will possibly because he's been belting some dingers in spring. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe.
Hayward's been all over the ball.
Yep. Most dingers by a pitcher.
Arrieta.
Arrieta.
How many?
Guess how many? I'm gonna
Oh.
2.
That's why I said Arrieta
Yeah.
would do.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 off the top
I'm
of my
not
head,
gonna say
but yeah.
10. He's gonna hit one every start.
Pitchers with the most starts on the season.
Let's see. I'll probably go with Zach Davies. With, do I have to know the number?
No.
No. Fuck it. 26.
I'm
mean-
going Hendricks.
I went with Hendricks as well.
Never happened.
He's an everyday guy. He never gets hurt. He's goes out there and does his thing.
happened.
First pitcher this year to throw a no hitter.
Trevor Williams.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
Whoa.
remember that one.
Yeah, write that one down, folks. We're coming back to it. I went with Arrieta. I think he comes back to town and he gets nice and comfortable up there.
Never happened.
I'm saying Arrieta versus the Brewers, the Degens from up north. First position player to pitch in a game.
Rizzo. And he's going to hit somebody out of spite.
That's interesting. I went with Javi because he was posting all those videos of him pitching like last year during the little kind of mid break or whatever, and he never got a chance to do it.
I'm saying Eric Sogard because they probably don't want to injure somebody else's arm. They're like, hey, Sogard, you probably can't throw very hard because you wear glasses and you're a nerd. And there you go.
Can that Matt Duffy throw the ball? Or
Maybe Matt Duffy. I mean, sure.
Eric, the super fan, says he's holding you to that pick there, Jeff.
Do we have a picture of Matt Duffy?
I'll find one. First player to be traded this season.
Chris Bryant.
Ooh, interesting. I'm going Davies. 1-year deal, very affordable. I think if we're not in the picture, he'll get traded.
Okay, I went with Bryant, but I could see Davies as well. First prospect call up.
Nico Horner.
That's an easy
Yeah.
one. Nico.
Yeah, Nico.
Will we make the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay, I say yes as well. And what will
Yes.
our overall record be?
88-74.
Ooh, interesting. I went 86-76.
I went 85 and 77.
Ooh, we're like right in there.
So, so hold us to that. See who gets the closest on the record, and hopefully we're all right and we make the playoffs this year. Now let's break down the opening series versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'll give you time to pull up Google because you will need it as we dive into this Pirates lineup, because you might not know any of these guys. So
They're a bunch of former furniture movers. They're going to help the franchise relocate to somewhere else.
Yeah, so while you're Googling them, folks, what's the difference between dirt and the Pittsburgh Pirates? Nothing. They both get swept. What's the difference between the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates?
what?
The last Cubs World Series team picture isn't in black and white. What do the Pittsburgh Pirates and Possums have in common? Both play dead at home and get killed on the road. What does a Pittsburgh Pirates fan do when his team has won the World Series? He turns off his PlayStation 3. You had it, Jeff. That was good. Did you hear that Pittsburgh's baseball team doesn't have a website? They can't string 3 W's together.
I like that one.
All right, let's get into the catcher. Jacob Stallings. I got nothing on him. I don't know.
He's pretty handy with the two-wheel cart, I hear.
He's going to be their everyday guy. I think he's possibly could be pretty decent. At first base, you have Colin Moran. You might remember him. He has a pretty nice beard. He's a redhead. Could rake last year. Hits the ball pretty well. He did play third base, but that got taken from him from phenom Ke'Bryan Hayes, which we'll talk about him because he's the only good player on this team and the only player you should watch, and you should definitely watch him. At second base, you have Adam Frazier. I will say Adam Frazier career-wise isn't very good, but in spring he's been killing it. The last few seasons he hasn't done much offensively, so we'll see how that goes moving forward.
All right, so moving right along with our game, who the hell is that? In shortstop, there's Eric Gonzalez and Kevin Newman.
Newman!
Not a clue.
Are
these the furniture movers you were talking about?
I believe these two guys worked for 2 men in a truck, so they helped move the equipment to spring training and apparently got a tryout. So
they're like, oh, you got the last name Gonzalez. That sounds like a baseball name. Why not?
Right.
All right, and at third base we have Ke'Bryan Hayes. The kid is legit. Hayes is the talk of the Pirates when it comes to Pittsburgh. He's the reason to watch any Pittsburgh game this year. He put up video game numbers in his first 24 Major League games last year. He batted .376, which is legit. Slugging percentage of .682. On base percentage of .442. Like, he's just really good. He's preseason rookie of the year already. Like, he's probably gonna win that. So he's a stud.
So that's kind of scary to think about. But if you take a look at the outfield, first thing you'll notice is when you Google search them, you get the shrug emoji. We got Brian Reynolds, Anthony Alford, and Gregory Polanco.
Which
Reynolds
I remember him
Yep.
from falling down when the Cubs hit a pop-up to him and then won a game. So that might be the one guy you might remember, Gregory Polanco.
Yep. Reynolds did have a good 2019, batting .314, but did not have a good year last year. And Polanco, last year his K rate was nearly 38%. So got that going for him.
Watch, we just get swept.
Yeah. We'll get to that down below.
All right. The rotation, the Pirates are going with a 6-man rotation this year. Who the Cubs will see is Mitch Keller. He's a rookie, or not rookie. He's played in 2019 a little bit, pitched in 5 games last year. Tyler Anderson, Chad Cull, JT Brubaker, cool. And Trevor Cahill, you might remember him.
Hey.
He was on the Cubs World Series roster.
Wasn't he in the bullpen, though?
He was in the bullpen. But he did some good things there. So opening day, you'll see Mitch Keller. He compiled a 2.91 ERA in 5 starts across 21 innings. He did walk a ton of people last year in 3 September starts. Keller walked 14 batters, including 8 in his final start. He does have a problem giving up the long ball, so hopefully that'll fare well for game number 1. The Cubs will get a whole bunch of dingers, and Jeff will be wrong that the dinger will come on game 3. So,
all I got to say is if this guy gets it anywhere near the plate with some deception, I think our batters will swing at it. I mean, I hope they really worked on their plate discipline this year.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
The Cubs will have Hendricks going game 1, Arrieta will go game 2, and Davies will go game 3. I look for us to sweep this series. I really do. I think Arrieta will pitch good. Davies is going to be solid. Hendricks is going to be solid. I think our bat's going to come through. If we don't win at least 2 out of 3 of these, I will be very frustrated.
When is
you guys worry at all that their youth will actually be like good for them, kind of like the Marlins last year?
No.
No.
The Marlins had a pitching staff that was legit, the top tier. These guys are not good. So
yeah. I don't know. I just foresee for some reason like Cubs are going to struggle against them, and it's going to make no sense. But
yeah,
maybe it's that little bit of pessimism kind of coming in.
Darwinism, I think. From Murphy's Law.
Yep.
Anyway.
So I don't know. I think the Cubs will win 2 out of 3. Look for us on Thursday. We haven't officially nailed this down, but on Thursday after the game, I know last year we did a before the game Facebook Live. After the game, we'll probably do maybe a post game something, either on Facebook Live or YouTube or something. We'll do a live little rundown on the game. If it's just me or Jeff or one of us will do the post game. So look for that to be dropping. We'll give you a notification, let know when it comes out. And yeah, don't forget, tomorrow we'll be posting an opportunity to win a free Dingers t-shirt. So just throw out who you think's going to get the first dinger. You cannot post anything past, we'll say, like 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. The entries have to stop, just so we make sure that you can't cheat.
Fair.
Yep, fair is fair. So yeah, I know you guys, some of you guys that will listen will hold us accountable, and I hope you do, to make sure that we get our predictions correct, or we will be way off, and you can rag on us all you want, or you can fluff us a little bit.
Especially Jeff.
You think I give a shit? I can't wait to see this Matt Duffy.
He's gonna start game 1 at first base for Rizzo because
I'm all fired up to see who the hell this clown is.
Yeah, the Matt Duffy, don't even. Yeah, we can circle back.
Is he gonna bat ninth?
Good thing we don't have a DH this year, else he'd be our DH.
Right. Is it really pronounced Duffy or is it pronounced Doofy?
Duffy.
Okay.
I think he was the second baseman for the Giants back in the day when we were in the playoffs versus the Giants. He didn't do much.
Right.
Interesting.
But he was projected to be pretty good, but never really lived up to the hype.
So I have.
All right.
I haven't really picked out my punching bag of the year, but I'm leaning towards Matt Duffy, Dylan Maples, and Craig Kimball.
Okay.
I like it. Though I did like your assistant librarian remark about Sogard. So.
Oh yeah, Sogard's in the running too.
I think Sogard's going to have a great year. So I'm just saying, I think Sogard's going to play a really good role, fill in, give Javi days off at short. Sogard's going to be all right. He's all right. So, all right. Well, that does it for episode 33 of the Dingers podcast. Thanks for joining us. Again, Thursday, baby. Opening day. It's here. It's here. And I'm pumped. So remember to wear your jerseys, wear your hats on Thursday, and cheer on the Cubs. Go Cubs, go.